Hi everyone, my name is Ryan Abair. Welcome to my channel. This is where I share my insights, and I hope that you have found my insights useful in your own journey. And today I'm talking about how to have self-respect. And what that means, and why would it be useful to you. Sometimes these spiritual concepts, as beautiful as they are, they don't seem useful sometimes. Like, why would it be useful to know that you don't have a free will or that there's no individual? So I'm going to try to clarify why self-respect would be useful. And respect is this space. It's like walking into a museum and seeing all the wonderful artifacts, the artwork that has been deemed worthy by the world, like Michelangelo's David, Da Vinci's Mona Lisa, or even precious natural artifacts like the Hope Diamond. Even a pair of glasses can be considered a precious artifact. If you go to the Beethoven Museum in Bonn, Germany, you can see Beethoven's glasses. Makes me wonder if my glasses are as precious. Or you can see the desk where this famous person worked. Or you can go to the birthplace of Jesus and you can touch the ground. The ground is hollowed. You see, because that was like the place where this special event happened. Makes me wonder if the room that I was born in at the Thibodaux General Hospital in Louisiana is a sacred place. You see where I'm going with all of this, right? That we place this dignity, awe, and respect on these so-called outstanding people, and their lives become these precious stories. And so we have this reverential dignity for what Beethoven did, for what various and sundry presidents, and we build monuments to them, and we preserve their life, their story, as if it's some kind of special thing. And it is. We turn their lives into museums, and we turn them into statues, and we turn their lives into sacred things. Sacred vessels. This is where Rembrandt painted this thing, and this is the quill that Johann Sebastian Bach used. Oh, wow. This is the microphone that Ryan Abair spoke into. It's all like that. A museum is full of junk. If you didn't know that that was Beethoven's glasses that you were looking at in this little case ensconced in velvet, you would think, oh, look, an old pair of glasses. Even that, you didn't even know it was Beethoven's glasses. Even that's interesting. So, if I were some special godling. This is my coffee mug. Maybe one day this coffee mug will be in a museum. Ooh. My point is, how do you view yourself? You see, we pedestalize people because they seem to do extraordinary things, when all they did was become fully themselves. They sort of had this respect for their own abstractions, their ideas, and they translated them into some kind of amazing medium, like being a leader. In Jesus' case, he was a healer. Could you imagine if you could, and I'm not saying he did this, this is just hearsay, that he healed people on the spot. But one could say, oh, that was just a temporary magic trick because those people died anyway. You know, he brought Lazarus back to life. Ooh, well then Lazarus died again. He healed the centurion's sick child. But that child died eventually. So these are demonstrative things of just the universe demonstrating power. But I'm sure it came with a price. I mean, if you had the ability to heal people, you have a line of people. You'd be just, can you imagine all the sick people that would come to you if you could just cure them of their disease? You would be swarmed with sick people. You would call sick people into your life if you were a healer. But there's a certain respect for what comes up in you as what you're going to do in your life. You know, I was a musician for 30 years. I still am. And when I demonstrate my skill, it brings awe and respect and reverence because I do it quite well. I can read music, I can play musical instruments, I can interpret music. That seems miraculous to people. But that was just my calling. That was just something that happened within me. And your calling is to be you. And how you view yourself will have a lot to do with how you are viewed from the outside. So your inner view with who you fundamentally are. And I'm not talking about the story, your life, your glasses, your coffee mug, what you leave behind. I'm talking about the invisible presence that's moving through space and time and doing all these things and being animated. Who's in the bodysuit? This is the big mystery, right? But we can have respect for ourselves in the same way that we respect Beethoven, the president, the Pope, and these people that have these externalities are no different than you or me. And this self-respect comes with realizing that you are unlimited. And the more you realize that you are unlimited, that you are powerful, that you are dignified, that you are honored and respected, that's how you will be seen in the world. It comes with a price because you have to demonstrate that you are a human being that is becoming a godling, that is becoming God. That is your destiny, to realize your fullest potential. And potential or potentia or power is everything. The fullest realization of who you are. And you can respect that because there's a mystery to you don't know about. There's a mysteriousness to this whole thing, a reverence and an awe that we often take for granted. And that's you. You're the pinnacle of this glory and reverence and awe. And you can sense that. You can sense this when you meet a stranger. Maybe you've met your hero before, or you've met a celebrity and you're, there's a space there. A space of reverence that we all have and don't realize. And so with a stranger, you don't cross the line. You don't get invasive. You have this certain respect. And if you saw yourself, if you could get outside of the body and see yourself, you would have an encounter with yourself as if you were a stranger. You'd be in awe to see the back of your head, or to see yourself in 3 dimensions, and to hear yourself and to feel your presence. You can't feel your presence the same way that you feel another. It's quite different. Seeing yourself on a video or in a photograph is very different than actually encountering this divine mystique that is overridden by a story of little old me. So you carry this encumbrance of me, the person, my story. And when that lifts, you are an unrestricted being that grows and billows out into the universe and becomes high. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about high right now. What I mean high is not looking down on others. What I mean high, I mean transcendent. And you understand why people turn to drugs and alcohol. That is a chemically induced pseudo-high. That is why people love to drink, smoke, and do drugs, is because it creates a pseudo-transcendental experience. You get into deep parts of the mind that raise you above. And that's that awe and reverence, that wonderful mystique of don't touch. You can't approach. You fall short of the glory of who you are. And believe it or not, you're a drunken fool. A softy. You are a... Trust me when I say that the human being is nothing but a gooey, soft, supple teddy bear of love and complete awe. Like, there's so much more to it. I've had my fair share of being in the hospital for various and sundry medical conditions, one of which is a painful experience, which is in my gut, and I know that it's time to go to the hospital. I know I can't. Tylenol won't do it. Alka-Seltzer won't do it. I've got to go to the emergency room. This has happened more times than I care to admit. You want to be put out of your misery when you're in that situation. And I remember this particular visit to the hospital was right in the middle of the semester when I was teaching, and we had a concert that weekend, and this was like on a Thursday. I was like, oh crap, here it comes. And so as I was going to the ER, somebody's bringing me to the ER, I was thinking, oh God, I've got to notify the students. I was trying to work in that condition. And sitting in the ER waiting for the doctors to do their examinations, waiting for some good drugs. I was trying to get on my phone and email and trying to figure out what I was going to do. Doctor comes in and says, we're going to make you very comfortable. Don't worry. Hook up the IV. And they inject that, whatever it is, morphine, you name it. It's the best thing ever. You feel it, when you get those drugs like propofol and whatever, stuff that doesn't make you fall asleep, but it's just, in that moment, You become detached from your life. You're like, oh, and nothing matters anymore. The pain goes away and you're in la la land. You know, you've seen those videos on YouTube of people who have had anesthesia and they come back from the dentist and like, I love you, Mom, and this is the best. You know, and they're just looking at her, oh, look how pretty that is. And they're just moved to tears by every single thing. That's a chemically induced state of awe and reverence and highness. It's a pseudo version of what detachment is and spiritual enlightenment is. It makes you high like that. That's why when people get drunk, they get obnoxious. They get touchy-feely. They get ooey-gooey. They spill their guts. They lose all of their inhibitions. So a lot of the truth comes out when you're intoxicated. You spill your guts. You say, I love you so much, man. You know, the whole bit, it's hilarious. That's because at our core, we are these soft, supple, childlike, vulnerable, naive, mysterious things. Full of love, absolutely full of love you are at your core, and the most beautiful thing that you can't touch. So the problem with a chemically induced state of highness is that you know it doesn't last and it makes you crash. And you lose your sensibilities. Now, if you've never had powerful drugs, this might not mean anything to you, but can you imagine being that high? That detached from your circumstance? Oh, who gives a shit? It's just absolute, I don't care. All I care about is love and play. And these same kind of things happen to people who realize they're going to die. They put down the work. They put down the checklist. They put down the goals and the deadlines and the urgency and the direness. They start joking and playing and laughing and wishing they had a life like that. So self-respect is knowing you don't know. Oh, wow, I don't know who I am. I'm this mysterious thing. And it's like you have this out-of-body experience where you kind of see yourself from the outside, but for real. In the same way that you see a stranger and you're like, well, standoffish. In the same way that you'd go through a museum and see the statue of David and don't touch. It says, don't touch. Do not touch this. So you don't cross the boundaries anymore. You don't get invasive. You don't go to the Louvre with a bag and steal the artwork. You can't. None of it's yours. You see? And you realize this whole world, none of it belongs to you. You're borrowing your children. You're borrowing your home. You're borrowing your car. So you have a certain admiration and distance from it. And you do that with yourself. I love myself. I'm a softie now. So self-respect is knowing, okay, I'm a softie. I admit it. I love you, man. You know, you get it? You've been drunk before. Maybe you've even been high. But there's a way to live in that state of relaxation, of real bliss and highness. And I'm putting my quoting fingers here because highness is about God. It's about reverential respect for everything, even a coffee mug. Right? This is an artifact. Something I touched, right? And you've got you got a bunch of artifacts in your life. Museum pieces. Things that you've written on and touched. And when you go away, the people who remain are going to look at your artifacts with so much more dignity and respect. Imagine the things you touched have all of this sacredness to it. You're the one that touched it. You're the one who's high and soft and deserves the respect. And we can respect ourselves in that same way that we respect nature. And we respect strangers, and we respect the law. And we respect a pair of eyeglasses that Beethoven wore. Well, here are my glasses. Are we gonna put them in a museum? No, you can. Oh my gosh, I touched those. I touched this, and my handwriting is this, and my voice is this, and I'm leaving all these videos for people. These are artifacts from something that is expressing itself from an honest standpoint. So as the perception of the mind-made self begins to dissolve, you begin to see everything as ensconced in holiness, in a glass case. Do not touch. You can admire. That's what appreciation is and gratitude. You can admire even the suffering. You'll get there. And as you admire everything, it's like, oh, wow, oh, I love this and I love that. Oh, when my best friend died, I went through his home and just, oh, this chair, I sat here, and this is where he would sit, and this is where he slept, and this was his, oh, look, he left the candy wrapper he was eating. It's like everything becomes holy. And now it's all gone. So you have that same reverence for everything. And I want you to have that same reverence for yourself. And when you do, you will get high. You will have touched on something a lot of people don't touch upon. The truth of who they really are. The source creation. The ineffable, visceral abstraction that they are. Ooh. And as you do that, you'll get soft and loving. And the outside world will just be of no significance to you, just like as if you were in a hospital bed and they injected propofol. If you've ever had propofol, it knocks you out. But the 3 seconds before it does, you don't give a shit about anything. That's spiritual enlightenment. That's the respect and dignity of getting closer to who you are. But you cannot touch it. You cannot describe it. It's holy. It's real. And so your real nature is soft, loving, drunk. I love you, man. Oh, this is so beautiful. Go watch some of those videos. That's who you are. That silly kid is, I love you, Mom. You're the best mom ever. That drug-induced state is a way of living in awe and respect. Oh, wow. I'm 50. Oh, these are my glasses. This is the way I write. These are the words I speak. Whoa. I love you, man. I'm trying to make a point here. You can fall in love with the universe. You can fall in love with yourself. But you can keep that distance of respect and holiness without getting invasive. You're borrowing it. You're walking through a museum. Don't touch. Respect. Respect the dignity of these people. Respect the dignity of your pets. She doesn't like to be smothered, this dog. As much as I'd love to just eat her. I can't do that. Don't touch. It's not standoffish. It's still intimate, but there is a nice space through which the softness grows and the mystique comes out and the distance is healthy. And that's you. Holy, loving, soft, vulnerable, fragile artwork. But you are also the artist. in some strange divine union that loves himself and herself and all other artifacts that it leaves behind. And that's how you have self-respect. You see other just like you would see yourself, from a distance, a healthy distance, and respect it, appreciate it. Don't touch, don't invade, don't dominate, don't possess. It's yours to appreciate from a healthy distance of holiness. My name is Ryan Hebert. If you appreciated and understood some of these insights and you'd like to learn more about what I think about, please check out my blog. I write on it every day. It's called mymorningmotivator.com. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.